Hey folks, this is Vent with Ads Gaming Addiction, and today we're going to quickly review Astroneer. This is a game that you can find on Steam for about 30 bucks. Though as of the date and time of this recording, you can get it for 35% off, which is about 20 bucks or so. And this will last until August 24th. So you have about 3 days, assuming that you're watching this as soon as I release this video, to pick it up on sale. So what is Astroneer all about? Well, it's a sandbox base building game where you are this astronaut. You're going to be creating this huge base, if you want to, that is, in order to, I guess, try to get to every planet's core. Now, personally, I've never reached a planet's core. I've spent hours and hours and hours just building my base, collecting resources. I even launched a rocket to other planets and collected resources there. I've had 55 hours in this game. I just looked it up. And I don't regret any time of it. It's quite fun to play, even though I haven't really accomplished any of the game's goals. You know, reaching to the center of these planets, reaching their cores, and activating their power sources. I have been so engrossed in creating storages for my base that I just simply don't care. You can also reshape the terrain very freely in this game. So part of the fun is just creating a base that's nice and flat, or if you want to do something a bit more complicated, you know, you can create ramps and overhangs and the like. But, you know, me being a Borg-like kind of person, I tend to like things flat, nice and square, but you know how that goes. So, how do you play this game? Well, you start off again on this very grassy planet. It's very friendly, although you can't breathe. You have this shelter that you start in, and you have to be next to it in order for your oxygen to refill. But later, you start to be able to gather resources that are nearby. Like there's resin and compounds. These are two biggies that you'll be getting. You also find other resources on the planet that you start on. Like there's organic, which is just you dig up the ground and you get organic stuff. Organic resources can be used to power generators. There's clay, there's graphite, quartz. Then you'll get into other things like laterite and malachite, and there's there's other resources that you'll have to smelt down from their ore form into something a bit more refined. I don't know off the top of my head what turns into what, but I think like clay, for example, turns into ceramic. So you have to put the clay into the smelter and it'll smelt down into ceramic. That ceramic can be used in some of your recipes. You'll be able to craft these printers. They're small, medium, and large, and these printers will do various things. You can print various recipes from them, assuming you've got the resources to do it. There is a research/tech progression. You'll be building these research stations, and you'll be finding these odd objects in the environment. Some are big, some are small, and you throw them into this research station. And over time, you'll collectively generate these research points. Now, those objects will run out and disappear, so you have to go find more in the environment, bring them back, collect more research points, and you'll unlock a lot of different craftable objects for these printers that you're putting down. There's also a power element to this. You can build like solar arrays, there's wind turbines, there's like nuclear power or something like that, like fission power. You start off with nothing, and then you have to work your way up. And some of these things you won't be able to build right away. You actually have to find some of these resources on other planets. So you're going to be creating this rocket. I've done it on prior playthroughs, but not on my current one because my save was wiped. But I had to, and that was because of early access, not because of the game. But anyway, you have to build this rocket and go to other planets, and then you collect the resources there that you need, bring them back to your grassy home planet, and you can use those resources to craft things that you couldn't before. And I think there's like 5 or 6 planets, at least the last time I played. So you're going to be visiting all sorts of different planets. And you can even build bases on these other planets. So that's part of the fun is not only you building this base on your home planet, but if you wanted to, if you wanted to, you visit another planet, you can gather what you need, fly home, that's it. Or you can create your own shelter, resource, oxygen generation, and just start building up all these different bases on all of these different planets. And it's quite tedious, and that's where you'll be spending a lot of your time, assuming that you decide to do this. There's also gas in this game. You'll be able to collect gas from the air and use that as part of your crafting recipes, but again, different gases are on different planets, so you're going to have to build different gas collect stations for each of these planets. There's buggies that you can build, like tractors and rovers, and then you can attach like trailers behind them. And then what's cool, it's sort of like Legos in this game. You can easily use these plugs that are on most of your creatable objects and connect things seamlessly. And then these storage items can be put right on top of it. And these storage items have like 8 spots or 12 spots, depending on the size of the storage thing that you're building. And then you can just plop it right on top of these trailers, and then you can hold more stuff. So you can drive around. There's a scrapper machine, like it's a waste machine that will collect things in the environment and then scrap them. And that scrap can be used to, you can get rid of that scraps and then sell it to buy other resources and other items that you might want. So there's ways to turn unuseful, like just crappy stuff into good stuff. But again, you have to drive around. Typically, I would drive around in my rover. I'd have a shredder on the back with a bunch of solar arrays, so I'd stay powered, or wind turbines. And then as I find things, I just collect it, throw it into the shredder, move on, just rinse and repeat. Or if I'm on a resource run, remove everything from my trailers except for my storage, go out, and then just collect things, attach them to the storage devices, keep driving. Because your backpack can only hold so much. So you're going to need your trailers and your storage devices on your vehicles to, that way you don't have to keep going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And as I mentioned earlier, there's planet cores. There's an underground element to this. You'll find elements underground that normally you wouldn't find on the surface. So you'll be digging, and your primary resource in this game is oxygen. So you have to build tethers everywhere to keep yourself from suffocating. And it's very easy to lull into a false sense of security underground and think that I can get back to the tethers if I go out and mine this real quick. And then you realize, I didn't make this jump was too high for me, and now I can't get back up, and now I have to hurriedly create this slope with my resource sucking machine, because you not only can you suck the dirt and the ground away into your it's like a Ghostbusters vacuum cleaner, but you can also shape the terrain around you. You can level it out, you can increase it, and so on. So you have to hurriedly do that before you run out of oxygen and get back to your tether system that you've set up. It's a really fun game. I highly recommend it, assuming that you enjoy sandbox base building games. As far as enemies, there's really no enemy in this game. You'll occasionally come across these plants or other stationary things that will try and kill you. But for the most part, it's not extremely hostile unless you get to a different world. That's when it gets a little more serious. But for the most part, it's not like there's no base defense, there's no zombie attacks, nothing like that. It's just you, and oxygen, or lack thereof, is your biggest enemy. But for the most part, it's exploration, going out, finding things, coming back, researching more things, building your base bigger, going to other planets, rinse and repeating that process. So do I recommend this game? Absolutely. Again, my 55 hours, I think, were well spent. I'm on my second or third playthrough at this point, having never finished the others, but I don't regret it. If you guys haven't already, subscribed to me on Twitch and YouTube. That way you can stay up to date with any new content I happen to publish. This is Vince. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.